Hello friends. So today we are going to talk about one very important special clause in contract costing, that is escalation clause. Now try to understand the ingredients of this clause and applicability and the computations under which we will be doing the only illustration left in your study module, that is illustration 7. Now let's talk about this escalation clause. Contract escalation clause. Now before you understand this clause, there are two types of contracts. Types of contracts. Fixed price contracts, cost plus contracts. Now try to understand the features of both of these. Fixed price contract is when, as a contractor, I have been promised a particular amount after completion of the jobs. Let us say I am going to make a building within 7 years and they have promised me they will pay me rupees 100 crore. The amount is fixed, the consideration is fixed. Due to this 100 crore being a fixed amount, it is called fixed price contract. So in my example, I am contractor. In my books, you are doing everything. So contract price have been defined at rupees 100 crore. Now my contract is going to be completed within 7 years. Now in those 7 years, the cost of inputs can change. I am going to use cement, bricks, reta, sand, labor, many other items. The cost of these items will get inflated for sure. When I quoted 100 crore, I considered my cost using normal inflation and my profit margin. That is aggregate which created 100 crore, which I quoted to them and they accepted also. Now, if there is abnormal inflation, I will get loss on the contract. I thought 20% inflation in all material as well as labor, and the prices, instead of rising by 20% per annum, they double. Obviously the project will not remain viable for me. I will be bankrupt while doing the project. My cost will be more than 100 crore. So it is not in my favor. But again, it is beyond my prediction, any abnormal increase in prices of inputs, be it material, be it labor, anything. Now in such a case, when there is abnormal inflation, abnormal rise in cost of material and labor, the savior is escalation clause. Escalation clause helps me to reduce the losses caused by inflation. Escalation clause says if there is inflation beyond a particular percentage, some part of that inflation will be shared by contractee by giving me escalation claim. He will give me only a portion of abnormal inflation. I don't say that he will compensate me totally and I will be getting profits that I thought otherwise. No. He'll give me some part of that inflation in the form of escalation claim. What is second category of contract? Cost plus contract. Contract says whatever cost I incur, they will compensate me that cost plus a profit margin. Let us say 30% on cost. They give me cost plus a percentage on cost. Now, does inflation make me a victim in this case? Answer is not at all. If there is inflation, there will be higher cost and I'll enjoy higher profit. I don't mind inflation. I love to have inflation in this case. So in cost plus contract, no concept of escalation clause, as inflation does not disturb profitability of contractor. This can include escalation clause. So, whenever we are looking at fixed price contract, if there is an escalation clause, we'll have to make certain computations about the claim to be taken by contractor from contractee in addition to the fixed contract price. That extra claim is known as escalation claim. That is what we are studying in this topic. Write a little bit there. The concept of escalation claim arises when in a fixed price contract there is higher than the normal inflation in the cost of various inputs like material, labor, etc. The contractee has to compensate a portion of excessive or abnormal inflation to the contractor by paying an additional amount over and above the fixed contract price termed as escalation claim. Termed as escalation claim. Note, very important note. The claim is for increase in prices only and will not include cost increasing due to inefficiency of the contractor. that is change in quantities of material or labor hours shall not be considered to calculate the escalation claim. Maximum claim for materials is equal to standard quantity into difference in rates. Now, if there is inflation in 3 materials and deflation in 1, we must take a net. 3 inflations added, 1 deflation deducted, the net will be asked for as a claim. We should give the benefit of deflation also. We should take overall net inflation. Similarly, for labor, standard hours multiplied by difference in rate per hour. There are different types of labor. There is deflation in something, will be taken net. So net inflation is what you can claim. The change in quantity should not be considered. They planned 1000 bags of cement. They are actually consuming 1500. The extra 500 they are consuming will not give inflation on that. Even if they consumed 900 bags, we will consider 1000 bags only standard quantity. Standard quantity into difference in rates. That will give us the inflation we can talk of. The actual cost and budgeted cost will be different due to 2 reasons. Price as well as usage. The usage part is not being considered here. We are considering only on standard quantity the difference in rates. The actual quantity being different, we are not considering at all. That is where our variance analysis and escalation claim, they are different. Reaching illustration 7 of ICI module, you are given one agreed contract price $17,50,000. You are given standards and actuals, wages also, materials also, and based on that they are claiming final price, claiming 17,73,600, implying claiming 23,600 escalation claim. We have to check, is this justified? I'll first make calculation for this 17,73,600. How did he get the figure? What he have probably done, he compared standard cost with actual cost and claimed all the difference. We can check it. Let us check. For material A, B, C, first compute all standard cost, then all actual cost. Now standard cost 5,000 into 50, 3,500 into 80, 2,500 into 60. wages XYZ 2000 into 70, 2500 into 75, 3000 into 65. I want to get the total of this. 5000 into 50. This is 2,50,000. 3500 into 80. 2,80,000. 2500 into 60. 1,50,000. 1,40,000. 2500 into 75. 187500. 3000 into 65. 1,95,000. So 12,02500. 12,02,500. And actuals 5050 into 48, 3450 into 79, 2600 into 66, 2100 into 72, 2450 into 75, 3100 into 66. I want to get total of this. 5050 into 48, 242400. 3450 into 79, 272550. 2600 into 66, 171600. 2100 into 72, 151200. 2450 into 75, 183750. 3100 into 66, 2,04,600. The total of this I am getting 1226,100. Difference 1202500 is 23,600 that he is claiming. So what he has claimed is difference between standard cost and actual cost. I hope you are getting the error there. The error is computing actual on the basis of actual quantity. This is wrong. They are allowed to get escalation claim based on standard quantity into difference in rate. This is not justified. Correct computation of escalation claim. Correct computation of escalation claim. Standard quantity, in case of labor it is hours, multiplied by difference in rates. If it is inflation, I'll make it plus. If it is deflation, I will deduct. I'll put in minus. So I put all the 6 things one by one. This is A, B, C, X, Y, Z. I'll compute and then get the total of these. So what I'm doing there, standard quantity 5,000, 3,500, 2,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. Multiplied by difference in rates. Now, in material A, there is deflation. 48 minus 50. This becomes minus 2 means minus 10,000. The rates have declined. What we were doing earlier, we were multiplying 48 with 5050. That is not justified. 5050 does not come into picture at all. Escalation clause, standard quantity into difference in rate. Actual quantity does not come into picture at all. It comes in variance analysis. We are not doing variance analysis. We are doing the escalation claim computation. 3500 into, again there is reduction. 79 minus 80 minus 3500. There will be benefit of these negative. If all net is negative, then escalation claim is zero. Escalation claim should not be negative. Contract prices not to be reduced. If there is net deflation, no escalation claim will be put up. Now here is 6 rupees increase. 66 minus 60. 6 means positive 15,000. There is again increase 72 minus 72 rupees increase 4,000. No increase decrease. Nil. 1 increase. Total 8,500 I am getting. Justified escalation claim rupees 8,500 only, and hence total claim should be 17,50,000 plus 8,500. 1,758,500. This is the answer. What they have computed, I am not saying that always you will be getting lesser claim. You might be having more claim. If quantities are consumed less in actual, you would have got lesser claim in the first calculation that we did. That is not a correct calculation at all. When you consider actual quantity, escalation claim is wrong. Simple. Quantity has to be standard only, multiplied by difference in rates. That makes, in this case, 8,500 claim, 23,600 is wrong claim, and 1,758,500 is total contract price that you should ask for. Now going little further in the escalation clause, there is no question like this in your institute module, but I am just telling you how you calculate the escalation claim based on a clause which is given. I take an example. The clause reads like this: in case the prices of inputs increase by more than 8%, then the contractee shall bear %60 of price increase beyond 8%. I will be given some data with some examples I will explain, but before I explain it, I will give you some steps that you can use to calculate the escalation claim that you can talk of. Now, if you understand this carefully, in this language, 8% is a normal expected inflation. If inflation is 8% or less, no claim. Anything beyond 8% is called abnormal or excessive inflation. all excessive inflation is not to be borne by contractee. Only 60% proportionate share will be borne by contractee. We need to have amounts of cost incurred on various inputs. On every input like material, labor, we'll be applying this separately and then getting the claim there. You can write along with me steps which can be applied in this situation. That can be applied to find escalation claim based on a given clause. It is not based on the quantities or standard quantity or rates given. Step 1. Determine rate of normal inflation. In my example, it is 8%. Step 2. Determine actual rate of inflation. It will be given to you. Normal, then actual. Step 3. Calculate rate of abnormal or excessive inflation. Step 2 minus step 1. Keep in mind, if 1 is more than 2, there is no excessive inflation, no question of escalation in that case. Escalation clause will not apply in that case. Step 4. Determine proportion of excessive inflation to be borne by contractee from escalation clause. In my clause, in my example, it is 60%. Step 5. Compute the applicable proportionate rate for abnormal inflation. Step 3 into step 4. Whatever is abnormal inflation multiplied by, in my example, 60%. Whatever is proportion which is to be borne by contractee. That is step 5. Step 6. Compute amount of inflation. It is simple. Cost incurred multiplied by rate divided by 100 plus rate. Which rate? Actual rate of inflation. This rate which we took in second step. Obviously, if spending has been done, it includes the inflation. So, if it is 20%, 20 by 120 will give you amount of inflation. Step 7 is last step. Compute escalation claim amount as Step 6, that is amount of inflation, multiplied by step 5 divided by step 2. It does not need rectification. If you can understand, it is very simple. Let us say if it was 20% inflation rate, normal was 8% in my example, 12% is abnormal, and 60% he is going to share. 7.2% he is going to share out of total inflation 20% multiplied by amount of inflation. So simple thing I am doing in my calculation. I will do 2-3 examples for you, but try to understand. If you can apply the 7 steps, you can easily get the escalation claim. Making some examples to compute escalation claim. I'll make a few columns in a tabular form which will help you understand this. I'll take some different examples and things will be done. I first assume a data, actual cost rupees 1 lakh, actual inflation rate different in every example I will take. My basic clause is same. Normal rate of inflation 8%, and I had contractee share 60% of excessive inflation. Now keep on changing actual inflation rate and you will find our escalation claim will be different. Now I create a table, case number. In a tabular form, multiple examples I am going to make. Normal rate, actual rate I am going to change in every example. 3 examples I will make. In every example different actual rate. If I get actual and normal, I can get abnormal rate by deducting. Then percentage for contractee 60% every time. Proportion relevant, by multiplying abnormal rate and percentage for contractee 60%, I will be getting the proportion which is relevant. Amount of inflation, all the steps I have incorporated in this table, and then I get claim. Let's take case 1. Case 1. Let us say normal rate is 8%. It's not there, it's in the clause. It's not assumed, it is there in clause. Let us say actual rate is 20%. This example I took earlier. Abnormal 12%, 60%, 7.2%. Amount of inflation 1 lakh into 20 by 120. 20 by 120. Once you compute, you get 16,666.67. Now this claim will be 16,666.67 multiplied by 7.2 divided by 20. That will give me some answer there. You need to calculate there. 16,666.67 into 7.2 divided by 20. It is 6,000. So my claim in this case will be 6,000. So you need to do these exercises. Once you understand it, it is not difficult. Second example. Normal rate remains same because my clause is same. Let us say actual rate is 18%. What is abnormal rate? 10%, 60%, 6%. They are not difficult. Once you apply yourself on this again and again, it will become simple. 1 lakh into 18 by 118. They are all logical things. Once you apply, you get 15254 point something something. 1 lakh into 18 divided by 118. 15254.24. On this figure, I apply what? Apply your mind here. 15254.24 multiplied by what? Multiplied by 6 out of 18. 6% he is bearing out of total inflation of 18%. 15254.24 6 by 18. I am getting is 5084.75. I hope this one is also clear. Let's do one more, last. Third example. 8%. Let us say there is huge inflation, doubling, 100% inflation. 92%, 60%. This becomes 55.2%. 1 lakh into 100 by 200. 50,000 is inflation. On 50,000, 55.2 out of 100. What I am getting is 27,600. So when the inflation was rupees 50,000, 27,600 is coming as an escalation claim. So this is the application of clause when it is given. There was no question on this in your study material. I am still giving you this concept so that you can understand the same. I hope it is clear. Now before I conclude, I am taking up one unsolved practical question from your institute module. Question number 1 is on job costing. We'll do differently with the cost sheet topic. Question number 2 is what I am talking about. This is practical questions given at the end of the chapter, that is job and batch costing chapter. Question number 2 is what I am doing. Similar question I have done earlier also. Question is asking you to calculate estimated profit, notional profit and formula to be applied. The rule 4 is to be applied basically. I first compute notional profit. Computation of notional profit. And I'll make a small contract account for that purpose. It can be done mathematically also, but I am doing by making contract account. By work in progress. This is work certified and work uncertified. You are given certified work to the extent of 5,50,800 and uncertified 34,000. The cash received does not come, contract price does not come. They will be used while you do the profit taken to costing P&L. 5,50,800 plus 34,000, I am getting 584,800. And to expenditure only till date. The estimated will come in memorandum contract when we compute estimated profit. 4,50,000. So once I deduct 4,50,000, I am getting is 134,800. 2. Notional profit. Second thing, computation of estimated profit. Memorandum contract account. Whenever you make memorandum contract, the certified and uncertified does not come. By contractee, the contract price comes, which is 6,12,000. 6,12,000. 2. Expenditure till date. That is a common thing in both the accounts, expenditure till date. 2. Estimated future expenditure, 25,000. So 6,12,000 minus 4,75,000, 1,37,000 is estimated profit. Now the answers given by your institute stops there, but I will like to go further. He is asking all the methods which can be applied on this. The best method is estimated profit into cash received divide by contract price. So 1,37,000 multiplied by cash received is given there, 440,640 divide by 6,12,000. What you can alternatively do, you can apply all the 4 methods and the least of those can be taken as conservative estimate. But I feel in short this is the best method. This can be only taken through depending on the marks in the exam. This comes 98640. This is the amount which can be conservatively taken to the costing P&L. The formula based on notional profit should not be applied because the contract is near completion. It is 90% complete given in the question. So under rule 4, there are 4 formulas. You can show all of them, but the best one is this. The first one is being applied, estimated profit into cash received by contract price. This is question number 2, practical question, unsolved question given in your institute booklet. We'll continue with balance 2 questions in the next class.